Indonesian volunteers deliver daily supplies with help from motorcyclists. Kaohsiung Tzu Chi volunteers have teamed up for face shield production in the fight for COVID-19. Welcome to Dot Headlines. I'm Joyce Ho. Thank you for joining us. Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter continues to help vulnerable communities during the pandemic. Due to the movement restriction order, Tzu Chi volunteers entrusted motorcyclists to deliver daily supplies to the families in need. Since COVID-19 economic downfall has also affected the motorcyclists, this mission is also helping with their business.
Due to the epidemic, Jakarta city, which is usually busy with cars, has become empty. At Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter's warehouse, volunteers are busy packing supplies. They place rice, cooking oil, sugar, cookies, and fabric masks into the paper boxes before pasting the recipients' addresses. During the epidemic, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to help impoverished people.
I hope our daily supplies can help impoverished families get through the epidemic.
Due to movement restriction orders, aid recipients cannot come to get supplies. Therefore, volunteers have commissioned motorcyclists to deliver the daily supplies.
After the epidemic took place, many people's livelihoods have been affected. Motorcyclists no longer have work. We asked them to help prevent the gathering of people while at the same time allowing them to still have some income.
65-year-old Alice runs a small grocery. Due to the epidemic, there's no business. Tzu Chi's aid supplies come as timely help for him.
I appreciate Tzu Chi for delivering the supplies to satisfy the needs of my children and I.
My heart goes out to this family seeing the way they live. My family's condition is considered decent. I hope Allah blesses his family.
Stroke patient Marcel and his wife, who has ovarian cancer, are Tzu Chi care recipients. During the epidemic, volunteers cannot visit them, but they kept them in mind.
Thank you, Tzu Chi, for caring for us. Now there is the epidemic. They still deliver aid supplies to us.
After the motorcyclists delivered the supplies, volunteers gave them gifts and promised to help them get through the tough times.
We did not expect to have business during the epidemic time. Thank you, Tzu Chi, for giving us the opportunity to deliver supplies. Thank you for giving us supplies. It helps us more or less.
As the coronavirus pandemic continues to develop in the United States, an apartment fire displaced 36 households in Hayward, Northern California. Tzu Chi volunteers distributed cash cards in a drive-through setup so the affected residents can maintain social distance while getting needed supplies.
So can you open up the letter, and in there should be a cash card. There you go.
In fact, we brainstormed and came up with a solution. We thought it would not be good to hold the activity indoors. Then we thought we could have a drive-through. The affected residents would not have to physically contact us, as they also have concerns. We should protect each other. They can stay in their cars while we hand them the supplies, including pamphlet, fabric mask, and cash cards. We hand it to them and explain everything to them.
I hope to go home soon as I can. I don't like staying in hotels. We are afraid and we cannot sleep at night. Thank you very much. Tzu Chi always help us. Thank you.
In the folder. Yes.
It's really unfortunate that we're going through a pandemic and then there's fire, you know. And my husband he has MS, so it's harder for me. It's harder for us. And you know, he's wheelchair dependent, and all our equipments are actually at home. So it's been difficult. We're just really looking forward to going back, but it's not safe yet. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Well, we have to pay the hotel. We don't know yet when we're going back to the condo. They don't want, and the food. That's a great help.
Thank you very much for your organization. It means a lot to us for helping us because, right now we're struggling to get financial help, and thank you very much.
Face masks have become an indispensable daily necessity as COVID-19 spread around the globe. A 70-year-old U.S. Tzu Chi volunteer, Annie Chang in Los Angeles, led a cloth mask production team teaching sewing techniques around the neighboring communities. Moreover, Tzu Chi volunteers across the United States visit communities to hand out homemade masks, delivering love during these difficult times.
As soon as the epidemic occurred, a Tzu Chi volunteer, Annie Zhang, who is also a sewing teacher, cuts fabric and sews cloth masks all by herself. She also goes to different communities to teach residents how to sew cloth masks.
A volunteer who's also a sewing expert expressed his interest in cutting the fabric for me, while some students are willing to help introduce people who are good at sewing.
Miss Guo, who operated a sewing factory before, joined the rank of making cloth masks. She can produce more than 900 pieces a day.
After I wake up in the morning, if I have time, I will start making masks non-stop until 9:30 at night.
The mask-making team of Tzu Chi U.S. headquarters is temporarily established by this group of women. It gained a reputation for both quantity and quality.
When people or even some of the staff saw this mask with Hello Kitty, they came to ask where they could buy this or if it was available on the internet. So this is a very popular product.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Washington, D.C. also brought the cloth masks to visit their neighbors in the nearby shopping area.
Handmade?
Nice.
Nice. Yes.
Feels comfortable.
Yes.
Very nice group of people that are walking around the community, providing some help in people to protect themselves during these times.
Affected by the epidemic, the shopping area was empty. The compassion of volunteers was like a warm breeze.
This is a handmade face mask. It's not selling, sorry. We're selling the left, but not selling the mask.
Receiving the cloth mask given by the volunteers happily, people have a good impression of Tzu Chi and also promised to go vegetarian together. In Silicon Valley, volunteers visited a fire station.
You come together in large events or large crises to help each other, and that is the path forward to getting through a lot of these trying times.
Whether it was a forest fire or flood, they have had many experiences cooperating. This time, Tzu Chi sent them masks, spreading love and care in difficult times.
Tzu Chi volunteers around the world are busy delivering epidemic prevention materials to those in need. With the assistance of city councillors, Canadian Tzu Chi volunteers in Richmond Hill sent protective face shields to a long-term care centre, while Toronto chapter supported an intellectually disabled care home to protect the safety of frontline medical staff.
There was a snowstorm in May, and Tzu Chi volunteers in Richmond Hill were still rushing to deliver supplies under the cold wind. This batch of supplies was already the fourth, which was being sent to Mongchang Long-Term Care Center.
The epidemic here is quite serious. Many residents have been diagnosed and nurses got infected too.
We came to the care center here to donate medical supplies so that the frontline staff serving the seniors are safe and with peace of mind. I, on behalf of the community, pay tribute to Tzu Chi with great sincerity.
That over 74% of the coronavirus-related deaths have been related to the patients or seniors that do reside in long-term care homes. So these protective face shields will be specifically for the medical personnel who work in the centers. Being able to participate in this process and help with this initiative, I feel that this is a very meaningful thing to do.
In North Toronto, Tzu Chi volunteers were working non-stop and delivered the supplies by their own cars. Medical staff have long been waiting at the entrance with expectation and joy to receive the supplies.
The place accommodates patients with mental retardation. From the beginning of this epidemic to now, there are already 40 residents who had a positive reaction to COVID-19.
This time, the mask donation actually helped them a lot. They're expecting it for a long time, so today they're very happy. Thank you, Tzu Chi, for your generosity.
The entrance of the hospital was filled with encouraging words to cheer up medical personnel. Everyone faced the severe epidemic with love and mutual assistance.
Everyone's contribution counts in our fight for the pandemic. Today, we travel to Kaohsiung, Taiwan to meet Tzu Chi volunteers who are working with optoelectronic and plastic manufacturers to produce face shields. So far, the team has assembled some 30,000 pieces for the frontline professionals.
73分局100 6规分局100还有0元分局100嘉玲，你要粘吗？是？我都可以。好，你来粘好不好？我来粘。粘泡棉。好。
These are our sisters in Joying District, our partners in Joying District. This morning's volunteers all have to go back to work. Some of them will do it for half a day, and some people do it in the afternoon. We do batches like this and get in touch with hospitals in many places.
跟很多的地方的医院接好缘。
Such as Taipei and Zhanghua Christian Hospital and Hualien Taidong. We have helped everywhere, almost all of Taiwan.
台东都有，全部都有，全省几乎是全省啊。这个 PC 板是厚度是 0.25.
The thickness of this plastic board is 0.25 centimeter. When it comes to whole piece is covered with a film, we have to give them to the medical staff, so we need extra protection. After we attach the elastic tape, we do the buckles here. This is the long and short piece, and it was designed this way because everyone uses staples, but we are afraid that when they're holding it, their gloves will hook the staples and hurt their hands.
那很怕他们在拿的时候，他们手套会勾到订书针，手会破皮。那戴起来，它就是会。
When you put it on, this whole protective film tears off, and the whole face shield becomes transparent and can be reused.
我们是无偿的给他们，嘿，全部无偿。
We give them for free. It is all free. Of course, part of the funding is from our boss, and some of it is from us sharing. This is because we are all Tzu Chi people. There are many Tzu Chi brothers and sisters who also donated their love and compassion. This origin was SARS 17 years ago. At that time, we saw medical staff at Taipei Heping Hospital on TV and news that a young doctor died like this. I felt that if it was my son, I would be very sad. So we used this empathy.
台湾的社会真的很温暖，
好，
所以我们会撑下去。谢谢。
好，加油，大家要一起加油。刚刚好，我们的产业。
Just right here is a related company in this industry. He's making a photoelectric board marker, and they can easily make this plastic sheet.
这个300，300你看，啊这个250，互你看，就来。
我就跟他讲说，蛋好一点一滴。
I told him we want to do it bit by bit. We don't worry about expanding too much. But if we can make it bit by bit, we're not so smart. But we just needed this donation, and suddenly we made 30,000 pieces.
The first one we saw was the one that produced PC board. And the second machine is a semi-automatic machine, which is a straight cutting machine that processes the foam. Colleges are also very willing to cooperate because everyone knows that this is for the sake of all Taiwan. It's for the medical staff to use. For example, this guy you just saw didn't come out last time, so he also took advantage of the holidays to come out to help.
Tzu Chi Myanmar office recently prepared food staff for Tapokan village in the remote areas of Yangon region. Every family received 48 kilograms of rice and 2 liters of cooking oil. When volunteers visited the families, they also promoted vegetarianism and the rice bamboo bank, saving a handful of rice every day for other families' needs. Almost every family were in support of this good cause.
It is very hot in Myanmar in April and May. Tzu Chi volunteers in Yangon go to a village to deliver rice. Their cars stirred up a lot of dust into the air, and the volunteers and their bags are covered in dust, but they must take the trip.
It took us about 3 to 4 hours one way to reach their village. Our help to them was limited, but when I saw the villagers were so happy to see us, how toiling we were, and coming here, we would feel this was nothing.
The epidemic has forced villagers unable to leave home to work. Tzu Chi Myanmar office is conducting a relief plan by giving rice and cooking oil to every family. Though some mute granddaughters cannot breastfeed her baby because she has been malnourished for a long time, the volunteers also give them milk powder.
We use milk powder cans to hold rice, and we eat 4 cans of rice for every meal. Now we only have 4 cans of rice left at home. Now you are here so we can eat rice in a large bag and in good quality.
The rice earned at Kitty has home does not have much rice left, so the rice from Tzu Chi can help her family at last. Before she cooks, she also saves a handful of rice to help people.
When I save rice, I pray that suffering people are safe and my family is healthy. This is how I pray every time I save rice.
I also meditate and cultivate often, so your appearance makes me want to practice good deeds, so I also save rice and also money.
Villagers in Myanmar are usually poor. Although they often do not have food to eat, they are willing to save a handful of rice every day to expand their love.
In Haikou City, Hainan Province in China, the civilian-founded Fuxi School was facing financial burden due to the epidemic and is about to undergo relocation. Having once visited Tzu Chi in Taiwan, the school founder invited Tzu Chi volunteers to collect the recyclable materials from the old school building, putting resources into good use.
The old chairs and desks are about to be replaced. Fuxi School informed Tzu Chi volunteers to come recycle them.
The teacher's podium is about to be disposed and it's a bit broken, so we're not taking it away. There's aluminum, iron, and some screws in it, and we'll take them all out.
These outdated newspapers and books can be recycled and reused. The school founder visited Tzu Chi in Taiwan and saw ways to cherish resources.
We thought of Tzu Chi volunteers, and I trusted handing this to Tzu Chi. They will use this to do the right thing, so I'm especially comforted.
There are a variety of recycled resources on campus. Experienced recycling volunteers tore the items apart and sorted them instantly. There were also volunteers collecting the garbage right afterward.
We recycle and clean at the same time, so it's very clean and fast. The speed is fast and the work is neat.
The 6th-floor school building saw volunteers work day and night for 8 consecutive days.
We do it floor after floor, and the more we do, the more work we find to do. We are blessed that we got so many items given to use to recycle, and we can recover so many resources. For this, we are very glad.
I feel a bit tired, my legs are a bit sore, but I slept well once I returned home.
Volunteers prepared their own lunch and took a break from the work. Tzu Chi volunteers and school faculty worked together to ready the school to move to a new address.
It's really a great amount of resources, whether it's to dispose the copper, aluminium, or iron. The sisters have been working since 9 o'clock in the morning till the moon came out now. It's a heavy workload.
They only care about recycling, and none of them said they were tired. Also, no one would say that I'm exhausted and want to sit down and rest. No one said that.
The
The COVID-19 pandemic has been a challenge to the school's operation, but the founder valued each item and sought to recycle it to better protect the earth.
Our museum special series is taking us to Taiwan today, visiting the Museum of Fiber Arts that opened in 2018. Through exhibitions, guided tours, and DIY courses, it is introducing fiber and arts to the public.
In history or in modern days, fiber is to be found in our daily lives. Plant fibers refers to straw-plated articles, bamboo weaving, and rattan weaving. In fact, we are familiar with them. Our animal fiber refers to silk, wool, and rabbit's hair. There is also regenerated fiber and functional fiber.
From tradition to the future, the Lavish Parties exhibit speaks of fiber culture.
你们知道我们有多少纤维吗？大概，你说说看。就植物的，动物的。
On the wall are introduction of all kinds of fiber. Then there's further explanation.
你们可以找找看，你想要摸什么东西，摸起来感觉是怎么样？
软软的，舒服。有的很粗糙，有的就比较软。
Different fiber has different texture.
看一下这是什么纤维，长相像什么？凤梨，对，这是凤梨纤维。小朋友可以了解这个纤维。
Children can understand the characteristic fiber. Where does the material come from?
手臂长。
To learn about different kinds of fiber, there are DIY classes.
我们把它对折。 我们要先取中间点。
Through DIY, children's thinking will be stimulated. There is unlimited space to his imagination.
With fiber, fashion, and green art as developmental goals, Dayuan Elementary School holds its graduation exhibit.
On clothes with vegetable dye, we use acrylic paint, then we press it, and these patterns will show up.
Fiber is closely related to life crossing the fine arts and art world.
Now I'm going to show the stitching skill, which is considered abstract.
With the needle and stitches, 64-year-old Liu Qianshao is skillful in all kinds of embroidery.
这是一棵树了哈，树里面我把它用设计花了。
There are abundant flowers in a pine tree stitched with 7 skills.
有一个缎面绣嘛。 轮廓绣，长短针、放射线的绣法。
Dedicated to creative art for more than 40 years, Liu is strict in her teaching, as she has her persistence in artwork.
My students teach for 5 hours, but the next day I cut apart his work. I did not know he has worked on it for so long, but to me the work was not acceptable.
When the students' work is imperfect, Liu will ask them to redo the work. She's laying the students' foundation in artwork. The museum has a collection of artworks as a way of passing down the art. It is hoped that more people will enter the world of fiber arts.
Chile Citizen volunteers prepared food, preparation materials, and monetary aid to 2 senior homes to help them overcome the pandemic. Thank you for joining us and see you next time.